Well, hello there, and welcome to the first episode of Mistakes Were Made. I want to make a little series out of this. This is not about really good replays. This is all about the shitty mistakes that lead to you losing a game, or in this case, me, because I'm playing this game today. Yes, I make mistakes as well. In fact, I make quite a bit of them. Bit of a spoon at this game, as you may know. So let me see if I can run down all of the mistakes I made in this game to improve as a player, maybe even. So, what are we looking at here? We're looking at tier 8, tier 9 matchup, right? So I'm top tier, which is really good on Normandy. And as you can see, I'm already pinging the map to go DC, because if you look at the matchup, we have an IS-8 and IS-3 and IS-5, so we have 3 heavy tanks or only 2 heavy tanks. Looking at the enemy team, the 2 heavy tanks are the autos M103 and the VK here. They're definitely going to be, like, for me personally, looking at the enemy team list, the most dangerous targets besides the ISU and WZ here. Maybe even the Batchat is also probably going to become a problem at some point, but for the start, I'm guessing that the M103 and the VK are probably going to push D and C, because it makes absolutely no point for them to go to A, and B, sure, if they go to B, then they're not really an immediate threat if we decide to go D and C, right? So I immediately ping them up, seeing that we have an advantage over a D and C to cap those bases and win this game. That's exactly what I'm doing. I should go right here, support our 3 heavy tanks in capturing base C and base D, and take out the most dangerous targets on the enemy team first, the M103 and the VK. So let's see what I do. So I ping them up, letting my team know that we should go over there. The thing I don't do, right, and I regret doing, but I don't know if you could call that a mistake, is I don't ping I'm going to base C, instead of just pinging the base, because some people have turned that off. Anyways, yes, next. As you can see, the team is kind of clumped up in spawn. Right, nobody's really moving, which for me, like, kind of tells me at the beginning of the game that this is going to be a hard one to take down, because they're hesitant, they don't know what to do really. So this is going to be a really interesting game. As you can see, like the IS-3, for example, has already come in my direction instead of going to D and C here. And I'm going to make, by the way, I'm going to make my first mistake of the game now. As you can see, I'm not immediately turning to go help that IS-5 to capture C and D, but I'm going over this sniping spot right here, right? You might know this spot is a really nice spot to get in supporting fire, but in my personal opinion, after watching this game, this replay, and analyzing what went wrong, I really should have went there to support this IS-5. If, by the way, the rest of the team had also decided to go over there, because that's the next mistake here. As you can see, the entire team decided to push A, right? And what do you do if the majority of your team pushes one flank that you don't want to go to, right? You bite the bullet and go with them, because if you're separated, like me and the IS-5 and me are right here, then you should really disengage. It's not a good idea to separate your team like this. So that was the biggest mistake I made this entire game. I should have turned around exactly at this point, right? Maybe give them a negative in chat saying that I'm really not comfortable with this, but I would have had to bite this bullet and go over there and support them in pushing through A, and then we could have had a chance of pushing right up here and then trying to get B, and later, like trying to take B and then later D and C. But this is really not a good idea on this map. Seeing if they get us to stall right here, right, if we don't get B quick enough, and maybe even D and C, they're going to win on points, because they're going to hold B, D, and C now if we don't, if we go to A. Which, for me personally, saying that was a bit of a team mistake there, right? Talking about the shit teams from World of Tanks, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to talk about my own mistakes that I made. But just saying, honestly speaking, I should have gone with them, so that was the biggest mistake I made the entire game. So now, I don't realize this until much later on, by the way. So yeah, just going to see me taking shots here with this IS-5. I'm sitting in this bush. I really should have been over there helping him, but I'm not. Fuck, right? Complete mistake right there. And as you can see, just as I expected, the M103 and the VK, for me, most dangerous targets on the enemy team, have just decided to... They went exactly the way I expected them to. Right, to D, then I get spotted there, right? All in all, then the T-44 is also over here, right? The tank destroyer is also over here. Like, everything that I expected to be over here is over here, really. Right? But my team is now capping A, they're pushing through there, they're doing a really good job of this, by the way. And then at this point when my IS-5 dies, right? He was a really good player looking at that icon there. My IS-5 died, and at this point I realize, shit, I'm completely alone on this entire flank. So I make the first, and by the way, only good decision this entire game, and I bagger out. Instead of keep on firing and instead of choosing my gun, I decide to salvage my hit points and get the fuck out of there. Because as you can see, the entire enemy team is over here. I'm sitting in that bush. They know I'm there because I was spotted. So I'm running. I'm running for my life right here. And it's working out, right? Because they're not pushing me anymore. The T-44 thought I'm still in that bush over there, although I'm not. And I only take one shot from the VK here. That fucking tracks me, a bit annoying. Repair it and move on. Then I focus this M103, which, by the way, situational awareness equals 0, because a bit of a red alert moment right there. Almost shit my pants. ISU missed the shot. He was lining up on me, and my god, I was really scared. That was really lucky that didn't hit me. Right, so all in all, I got away with that. Like, I don't know how. Right, but the misplays are going to keep on going. This wasn't the last mistake I made. Trust me. So now close in on the ISU. Little mistake here. I don't realize that he has a small gun. Right. I should have seen that. That's not the BL-10 gun, so he has a much shorter reload than I anticipated him to have. So he fires another one at me. Then, yeah, another brown alert moment. It bounces. How do you bounce? That was some good RNGs right there, I have to say. So I got away with that. I don't know how. RNGs gave me another chance to redeem myself in this game, and spoiler alert, I fucked it up. So I go around, kill this ISU. There you go. And at this point, what I should have done, turn around, push up with my team. The thing I did not do at the beginning, and now RNGesus has kind of given me a second chance by letting me out of there practically unscarred and only one shot put into me. And yeah, what do? Right, I now know that there's the VK, the M103 was also pursuing me, and there's a T-44 around here somewhere, right? Yeah, Isu's dead, the Tortoise is dead, so I don't have to worry about them. The Bachelor is also dead, but those are the 3 tanks that are dotted around here somewhere, right? That I have to worry about now. And what do? I sit here and make the second worst mistake of this entire game, decide to push this corner. Why did I do that? Seriously, I knew exactly that there's a VK there aiming at me, so that was a guaranteed 400 something damage right there. M103 also popped out. That would have been that was also to be expected, right? He was sitting there somewhere, so I take 800 damage, 850 damage even. And then I even bounce my shot off the VK because I don't go for a slower plate, but decide to shoot at this cupola, right? So at this point, yeah, I was kind of giving up on the situation, although it was not looking all that bad anymore. I mean, it was a pretty harsh scenario, but our team actually managed to push to B, right? They actually managed to do that, but now, as you can see, another tank popped up on the minimap. The T-44 is now there to finish the job, which is, by the way, exactly what it is going to do. So my team is down another tank, right? Because I threw away my hit points completely by poking that corner. It was dumb. The second biggest mistake of this entire game, and I think that was the second mistake. That mistake right there lost us this game overall. So now, just watch what happens. T-44 now finishes me off. He knocks out my commander. I don't have a repair kit anymore, so yeah, I would be stuck for 72 seconds with a dead commander, but the T-44 just comes in, he has the hit points advantage, he knows that exactly, right, and he just finishes me off. At that point, I really only, after he put the first shot into me, I should have bailed. I should have just run, tried to get into the low ground here, just tried to get away from him, but I didn't do that. At the same time, the M103 that is still alive on 191 hit points, which he should be dead, right? I had a shot on him earlier, but RNGesus said no. I could have stopped there to aim, but that would have been a mistake as well, if you ask me, because I had to get out of there. I was in between a rock and a hard place there, so it was a snapshot, it didn't happen, so yeah, the M103 is still alive, which is a bit unfortunate, but I wouldn't consider that to be a misplay. The level PTA now also died, T-44 finishes me off, and now this game just, I mean, the IS-3 right here is gonna finish off the T-44 at some point. We could still win this, right? you could still very much win this. They, as you can see in the enemy team, the T-44 is still alive, the M103 is still alive, and the VK is still alive. Right, the two most dangerous tanks on the enemy team are still alive, which is not good. So now we have a lonely IS-8 fighting it out against a practically full health VK and a one-shot M103. Completely on his own around the Cap Circle C here, whilst that IS-3 over there is finishing off the T-44. He's gonna do that, by the way, which, yeah, thanks for revenging me, but I mean, it wasn't really worth it. I was an absolute shit player in this game. Did not deserve to survive that. And the M103 is just gonna get finished off by the VK now. He didn't even get a shot into him. Kind of unfortunate. So now it's just that IS-3 against the one-shot VK and the VK. One-shot M103 and the VK. And he could still turn this around, right? But he has to hurry. As I suspected, they're winning on capture points because they were holding these 3 bases for way too long. And yeah, he now has to push. He has to push like really hard, get around, kill the M103, and then try to somehow kill that VK. But I mean, that is good as impossible. That poke, for example, a bit of a misplaced wall. He's not going to do it. I don't want to hold you off too long here. He's just going to run into the M103. Bounces the shell, gets shot from the M103, and then the VK is going to finish him off. They're almost all on cap points as well. So yeah, all in all, you saw the mistakes I made, you saw the mistakes team made in this game. Those things really lost us that game. To recap quickly, the thing that really lost us that game was me not sticking with the team at the beginning. That was the first terrible mistake I made. That really, I'm pretty sure that's the first mistake that almost lost at this game. Right, I got away with it though, so I had a second chance to redeem myself, and the second mistake that then actually probably lost us that game was me poking my head around that rock to practically gift the enemy team in form of the VK and the M103 around about 850 damage of my hit points, and then letting the T-44 finishing me off instead of running away. So, right, and of course, the team in on itself also made the big mistake at the beginning to not go to D and C, but decided to go down to A, which, yeah, again, we could have still won that with that tactic, but it was a strange tactic. So yeah, looking at this, I finish top on damage, but I really don't deserve it. That was a shit game. Almost top on XP as well. And again, this M103 and the VK, as I suspected, the most dangerous tanks on the enemy team, right? The ones that are probably going to cause the most damage to us did exactly that. 3,400 or 500 damage even on the VK and 2 kills. And the M103 and 2 kills. And the VK or 2,700 damage and 2 kills as well. So, no surprise there, right? So yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it. Nothing else to mention here. So, if you enjoyed this first part of this series, mistakes were made, then consider subscribing and hit like on the video, and I shall see you all next time.